Hi, this is Sonia with Artsy Solutions, and today I want to show you how to make some tassels. I made some of these that I'm going to be using on Bohemian. One of them I'm going to be using on a Bohemian junk journal. And let's see, here's one of them. And I'm going to mainly show you how to make like these stringed, I guess you could call them stringed beads or string dangles, like this right here going straight across. And then I'll show you how I put them all together and created these tassels. Here's one tassel, here's another tassel. You may have seen these in a previous video, but I'm going to make some more, and I'm going to primarily show you how I made like these right here, and then putting it together. And you can use different things to put them together with. And here's another one. And you can just use different embellishments. You can use jewelry findings, just, you know, just different fabrics and threads and ribbon and different things like that. So, you know, let me make sure I got this turned the right way. Yeah. So that's what some of these look like. And I made these in a previous video, some of these, and I'll show you, I'll have a link in the description for all my, excuse me, all my bohemian crafting videos and stuff. Okay, so to start out, what you're going to need, I've been using some thread. This is like wax thread. I'm not like a jewelry maker, so I'm just showing you how I make mine, but this might not necessarily be the correct way to make them, but this is just what I'm doing. And whatever color you want, you know, you find your thread, and I go ahead and I just find some beads and jewelry, just different things that you're going to use, you know, to add on there. Like I have like different beads, and I make sure that my beads are wide. I have a hole, have a hole that's like wide enough that this thread can fit through, because that's my main thing. Like, it's easier for me to tie stuff than it is for me to use the actual jewelry tools and using like the, whatever those things are called, the head pins or whatever those things are called. And then you can also have different little things that you might want to have dangling, just different stuff, different designs, different, you know, things like that. So, and then I had made these, but we'll add these on later, or some of them later. But let me just go ahead and show you what you need. So I usually go ahead and set out like a layout of how I'm going to do my beads. Like on this end, I have like a silver, then I have a button, not a button, but a bead, and then you come up a little bit, and then you have another little old like bead, and then we have this, actually let me turn it around like this, because it goes like this, and then this spells boho. Yeah, just different little things that you can do, you can add on there. You don't have to, but like I said, I am not a professional, but this is just how I like to make mine, and they're fun, and they go great in your journals and stuff. And you're also going to need some strips of different like colors, maybe different styles of like ribbon or fabric. Like this is just torn muslin. So you just find scraps of fabric and things like that. I think this used to be an old curtain that I had. But yeah, just find you some fabrics, and however long you want, because it depends on how big or how small you want your tassel to be. So, but mine range from, let's see, the smallest one is, I'm just going to say 11 inches. I think I think that's the smallest one. Let me make sure. Well, no, that's not. We're just going to say 9.5 inches. This is my smallest one. And then they go up to roughly almost, let's see, this is a pretty big one. This one's over, this is probably like 14 inches. But it just depends on how big or how small you want your tassel to be. So go ahead and set aside some of your fabrics and lace and whatever that you want to put in your tassel. But in the meantime, to start out, to make like this right here, what I do is I take my thread, this is Fapito thread that I had gotten off of Amazon like a couple years ago. These are what I usually use in my junk journals for my signatures. So what I do is, and like I said, I'm not a professional, this is just what I'm doing. I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason to it. So I have my my measuring plate, this thing right here, is like 13 inches. So I'm just going to do that like 3 times. So it's almost like 13 times 3. You don't have to do that. That's just what I'm doing. There is a way, because I had seen a lady probably like 4 or 5, it might have been 6 years ago. I have no idea what her name is or what her channel was, but this was years ago when I had first seen how she did these. But anyway, basically you're going to fold your string in half, like so. And let me turn it this way, depending on if you're left-handed or right-handed. So actually, I'm going to turn it this way. So what I'm going to do is, okay, they're folded in half, right? I'm going to take whatever I want at the very, very bottom. And in this case, it's this little old charm. It says Believe and Live. I'm going to put it in and let it fall. I'm only going to put it in one, not both of them, just one. I'm just going to let it fall all the way down to the middle or to the bottom. And keep in mind, I'm keeping this even. This is still going to be the same size. So I have it down like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie a knot. And I'm just going to tie the knot from this end. And I'm just going to push that through there. And tying knots is not my strongest suit either. And see how I'm holding this charm in my hand, and I'm pushing the thread, I'm pushing my knot toward the charm. That way the knot's not like way up here and you have like a whole lot of space in between. You know what I mean? So, okay, I mean you do have like a little bit of space in between right here, but you know, it's not like way up here somewhere, you know. So now what I'm going to do, and it's probably good to have some type of a measuring device, a ruler or a mat with a measuring amount. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this knot all the way down to 0. And depending on where, okay, like in this situation, I wanted a knot, I wanted a charm and then a bead. And so that ended up being like near 1.5 inches. So I'm going to repeat the same thing on this one. So actually, I'm just going to go ahead and put my bead on. So I didn't make any room in between the charm, and I'm not making any room in between the bead. So I'm just going to put the bead in here. I hope I'm making sense. Okay, so let's go ahead and push that in there. Okay, and then it's going to fall down in the same manner. And that knot is going to keep it in that position so it's not like literally touching the charm. And then we're just going to create another knot. And I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to tie a knot from this end. Well, you don't have to do it from that end. You could actually do it from the other end. And before I tighten it, I'm going to hold the bead and I'm going to push this knot towards the bead. That way it gets as close to the bead as I need it to be. Alright. And I'm just going to kind of pull it. Alright. Now with this being waxed thread, it's really sturdy, so that's really, you don't have to worry about it breaking. You shouldn't have to worry about it breaking. Alright, now we're going to put this charm back to the 0. Or almost near the 0. And then, let's see, kind of like this right here. Yeah, so 1.5, well, almost 1.5. So it's going to be slightly different. So then what I did, like on this one right here, if you wanted to, you could just start at the very beginning and just count, let's see, 1, 2, 3, roughly 3 inches or 3.25 inches distance. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my bead down here. I hope I'm in frame. Oh, I wasn't even in frame, was I? Okay. Let me move some of this stuff. Zoom in. Okay, so what I did at the very beginning, just in case, since I wasn't in frame, I had my charm at 0 and along with the bead. And so, okay, now that I've got the charm and the bead on here, you put the charm on, tie it, bead, tie it, and now I'm going to go 3 inches up. 1, 2, 3, which is right here. So I have my hand right here where I want to tie it at. So I'm just going to keep my finger there so I don't lose the position. don't know if I can see what I'm doing. Like I said, jewelry making is not my strong suit. Okay, let's try this again. Alright, so that's beginning. So 1, 2, 3. So I want it like right here where my finger is. So I'm just going to tie a knot right there. And feed that through. And let's see. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to slide the knot up some. See how I did that? I slid the knot up to the 5th spot because it's 1, 2, 3 inches from where this button is. And I'm going to hold it in place, and we're just going to push our knot to my fingers. And then I'm just going to tighten. I'm going to pull on it and tighten it. So now we have a knot that's approximately 1, 2, 3 inches away from here, so that we can put our next item on, which is one of these little leaves. And I got these leaves off a combination of Temu and Amazon. So, and then some stuff I'd already had in my stash, and then some stuff I made. So, but you can always go to Walmart. You can go. Dollar Tree even has like little beads and whatnots, and whatever your theme is, or whatever you want. Just use what you have, you know. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put this in here, all the way down to the bottom, or to that knot. And we're just gonna tie a knot right there. I'm gonna hold this in place, and I'm gonna push this knot to the leaf. Okay. And then we have this little piece right here. It's like a plate, like a name plate. And we're just gonna, actually, I think what I'm gonna do with this one, I don't know if this is a smart move or a dumb move. I'm trying to think how I can do it without it. I'm gonna put the string through one end. Yeah, through one. It's gonna go down into it. And then the other string is going to go down into the other side. I want to line these up, and this is going to fall down. I didn't really want that string in the front. Let me take this string out, because I wanted it in the back. There's got to be a way. Guys, I'm learning as I go along. So, okay, so this one's here. And this one's going to go down in here. It still comes out. Maybe I should have it come through the front. Yeah, I'll have it come through the front. I don't know. Or I'm just going to add this on, and then I'm going to tie it on one side. I'm going to add this, and then tie it. And then, because I tied it together with both holes, I mean both strings. I put the string through both strings through the same hole at one time, and then tied a knot. And then maybe, I'm really trying to figure out how to get it to go through the, okay, then I'm going to come through the back. And then I'm going to tie a knot. I'm going to hold this in place, and I'm going to push the knot towards the plate. I'm going to make sure it doesn't get tight before it gets near the plate. Okay, and then we're going to add this other one on here. Sorry it took me so long. This is I'm just experimenting it a little bit. So I've never done the nameplate like that before. So I'm pretty sure there's another way to do it, but like I said, this is how I'm doing it. I'm going to put this in here. And we're just going to tie the knot. Tie it on the right side, correct side. I'm gonna just tie it like this, and hold my little green thing and push the knot towards the green leaf. and tighten it up. Okay, and then now I'm going to add, okay, so not this one, so there's 3, so 1, 2, 3. I want to tie it right here. I'm going to make sure that that's 3 inches away. 1, 2, 3. Put my finger right here, and I'm going to push this knot towards my finger so that it's positioned correctly. Alright. And I'm just going to add that button. If I don't drop it. We're going to tie a knot. I'm going to hold the bead and I'm going to push the knot towards the bead. Tighten it up. And if you want to, it's optional, you could put something else down here as a dangle. And I might do that. I might just add another little thing on this end. I'll just put this. Let's see. I've already got something that looks like a bead. So we'll use this, another one of these little things. And this is going to go on the very end. So this one, let's see, is 1, 2, 3 inches away. So 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and tie a knot. And it doesn't have to be exactly 3 inches. It could be a little bit closer if you wanted it to. Be. So let's see. 1, 2. We might just do 2 because we got to have enough string to tie that this last little piece on here. All right, and now we're just going to add this on and tie a knot. And you can double tie it or you can just single tie. I think I'm just going to single tie this one a few times. Or not like single tie, but like instead of tying it with both strings together, I'm just going to tie it one string each, you know what I mean? And then I just cut this down. And this is optional, but I'm going to take my lighter and I'm just going to melt this little end piece right here, these little end pieces. And just be really careful if you decide to do that. I'm just going to let it cool off. So yeah, so we have that one and we have this one. And I'm going to make another one on camera and then another one off camera. Alright, so we're going to do this 3 times all the way up to 13. So 1, hold that in place, down to 13, 2, hold that in place, and then 3. Snip that off, fold this in half, then we're going to put our bottom piece in here and tie it up. Make sure that this is level or even. Just going to tie it. And you want to make sure that you hold your charm and push your knot. Hold on. You don't want it tight yet until you have it where you want it at. You don't want your knot tight. Hold on. Alright. Alright, so you got that. Now we're going to add our bead. Then we're going to tie it. Hold on. That's fine. It has room. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, so 5.5. So right here. Okay, so now for the really fun part. We're putting our tassels together. So just get however many you want and try to line them up in the middle, like center it. And it's good to use different colors, different patterns, different fabrics, you know, or ribbon or whatever you want to use, you know. And then last but not least, I'm going to put this one in the middle. I'm going to try to center it. And it doesn't have to be exactly centered, because especially with this part right here, because you're going to be folding it down anyway. So what you're going to need, you're going to need a piece of string. And I just cut this one probably about 14 inches. It doesn't have to be 14, however big you want it. And I'm just going to put this directly up underneath it, up underneath our tassel to where it's halfway up. And I'm just going to hold it, and I'm just going to pull this up. And I want to make sure that this part right here, the bead that we just made, is literally on the top. You know what I mean? Because I want to make sure that it's going to show. Alright, so now that it's on the top, and we've got this like that, we're going to hold this together. And what I want to do is, we're going to be wrapping this around. So, of course, you got 2 strings. I'm going to first come around like so with one of the strings. And when I do that, it's going to create like a loop. And I'm going to leave part of that loop up there. And then I'm just going to come back through, and I'm going to go the opposite direction with the other one. And then I'm just going to tighten it. And then I'm just going to tie it over here on the side, up underneath. Or, yeah, see how it's right there? I'm just going to tie it again. And I'm going to tie it one more time. And if you wanted to, and it's totally an option, you could even add like another little button or something to just kind of hang from there. So, in my case, I think I might just add another bead just for fun. And it's totally optional. You don't have to do that, but I think I'm going to, just cause, you know. But you want to make sure you have enough room for it too, because if it's too big, then maybe not a bead, maybe another, we'll do something else. you can just find like a little charm or something. This right here is like a little key, so we can just use that little key right there. So we're just going to add this on here, and then we're just going to tie that into a knot and tie it again. Well, it's kind of hard for me to tie small little knots. Oh my goodness. This is why I don't do jewelry usually. Sometimes I'll just get into the mood for it, and then sometimes I don't. But yeah, so we're going to try to tie this. Oh, come on. Okay, there's that one. I think 2 of them's good enough. Alright. And I'm just going to clip it. And you can leave it, or you can burn it, or you can, whatever you want to do. But if you burn it, just remember, just be careful, because you got this other fabric nearby. So if you do decide to burn that little piece right there, make sure it's kind of away from the rest of your stuff. So, and this is just an option, and you don't even have to do that, because it's really going to get covered anyway. So, but I'm just going to burn it. Be careful, because it's flammable, highly flammable. You're basically just trying to melt it. Okay, and then kind of maybe dab it. It's going to be hot, so be careful. Alright, I think that's okay. So now we've got our little hoop right here. You know. And if you didn't like that, you can always put this down in here and add something to it. And then you've also still got this hoop, the original hoop, right there. You could add a dangle here, and then you could also add something up here. So, which we might just do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and, I had made some of these in a previous video. Let's just go ahead and add one of these in there. Actually, I think I want to add a feather on this side. So I've already got a jump ring here, and I'm going to add another jump ring to, oh, I don't really like that. Actually, I'm just going to have these both go up here. So I'm just going to add a jump ring up here to the top. Yeah. And I have different types of jump rings. I have these little thin, you know, your typical jewelry ones. And, well, this is jewelry too, but this is a little bit thicker. It's more sturdier than like these right here. I'm going to use one of these simply because I want to make sure it stays right there. And then I'm just going to open it up. Now, the other kind of jump rings, typically, you can just open using a bare hand and a tool, but these are so thick that I have to use both. I'll put that through there. That way it's all going to stay together. Then, like I said, I'm going to add a jump ring. Okay, I've already got a jump ring on this one. And then, so on this side, what did I say? I was going to add that feather. I can add a jump ring to this part of the string right here. So this is one of the thinner ones. Then I can take my hand with one and the tool with the other and open it up because it's kind of thin. And I'm just going to add the jump ring here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and add this on here. And then tighten that back up. Alright, so we have this little feather. And then I think I'm going to also add one of these cute little things on here. I think I'll put it down in here. I should have put it just on the same. You know, I'm going to add it to that same thing right there. I'm going to give it its own extra little jump ring. Just going to open this up. This has a jump ring. Add that one. Oh, come on. And we'll just put this here and tighten it back up. They're outside cutting the grass, so sorry for the noise in the background. Okay, and so we've got us a little dangle. I kind of like that. I like my little boho dangle right there. We got a little key, and a jump ring here, holding everything. And then you could actually add a clip of some type, or hold on. Okay, so I'm going to add this on there, and I put another jump ring on it, one of the thicker ones. And I'm just going to open this top one up because I want it to dangle. And you can add this one to like a journal or something. Add that one here. And if you don't like how tall that is, You could actually fix it. I think I will because I don't really like that. I'm going to make this go up underneath. Hold on. It's going to get tied down. I just fed it through the middle, and I'm gonna tie it down. So and it really won't show because it's going to be up underneath. Well, there's a will, there's a way. All right, so let's see what we got. Oh, you know what I did? I shouldn't have did that. We can fix that. Okay. I might just leave it. I think I will. It'll be okay. I could always, I don't know. I don't like that. Oh, it's stressing me out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wind it back around as if it were a brand new, like I'm starting on the tassel fresh and new. So I'm going through that little jump ring right there, which is in the middle, and then I'm holding this down. I want to make sure that jump ring is going to stay up there and at the top. Then I'm just going to wind it going around. And then I'm just going to tie it. And I kind of like the look that the brown gives it, so it just kind of adds to the boho charm. I might put another one going around it. And this time making sure that part is down. Alright, so here's our little tassel, our first one. What do you think? Alright, so now we're going to make some more. I think I'll do one more on camera, and then the rest I'll just show you. So, you have your strings or your ribbons, your different ones, your different fabrics, and there's no one set amount that you need. I'm just, you know, however many you want. Remember that. And I think I'm going to do this one on camera. With boho, I'm going to try to put that, turn it like this, put that in the middle. We're going to get our string, and then hopefully I'm not going to make the string bulky like I did on that other one and have to fix it. And then I'm going to put the string up underneath. You probably could just lay the string down first and then put your stuff on there. I really don't want to separate boho. Well, we'll put it up this way, yeah. And then I'm going to pull it up, make sure it's even. And pull it up, make sure boho's on top, or make sure your beads and that thing that we just made today is on top. And then we're going to, actually, I'm going to tie it right here. Yeah, we'll tie it. Then we're going to take one of them and we're going to wrap it around. Take the other one and wrap it going the other way. And then we're going to tie it. Did I have it going the other way? I had it going the same way, didn't I? I think I did. Yeah. Have it going this way. Okay, so they're all done. And I'm just going to show you one by one. And some of them I added little clips to. So this is one of the ones that I had made in the very beginning. And here's like front and back. And you can see the different little embellishments on here. It has a feather and butterfly, little charms, just different little things on here. And this one's held together with a ribbon clip, ribbon crimp, or whatever it's called. So there's that one. And then here's this one. And I did add a little clip so you could just add it to like a journal or whatever you wanted to add it to. And this one's the one that's got the little glasses from where I made resin. And then these little feathers, I also used resin on them. I basically just took a I forgot what we call those little head pins or whatever those are, and just wrapped it around the feather, and then just added a little bit of resin over top of it, and then added the jump rings so that I could add it on here. And then here is our little bead dangle. I'm trying to show the other part of the bead dangle. Yeah. And then here's another one. This is a little bit longer. This is the longest one. I do like that one because of the length. And then I also like it because of the butterfly and key. And here's that one that gave me a hard time when I was trying to figure out how to add the rope in there, or the string in there. And then I added another one of those feathers. And here's the rest of the little dangle. Believe in love. So you see how you can add all kinds of little things on here, and there's still room to add even more dangles if you really like to have stuff hanging off of it, you know. So there's that one. And then here's this one, because I like to have different lengths, some short, some long, some in between. And this is the one that has boho. And then we've got that. I did add a little clip to that one. And then we've got our cute little queen owl. And then we have our other little bits and bobs that hang off of there. So there's that one. And then this is one of the ones that I had made earlier on. And then here's a little bead dangle. And this one's got like a little feather on there. Some of these have like real feathers, and then others have like the embellishment feathers, like the plastic or whatever that stuff's made out of. And then here's the last one. This one's got this one's got a real feather and an embellishment feather. So, and then we have our butterfly, and then this one's connected with this ball bead, whatever those things are. And then here's our dangle. So they're very, very fun to make, you know, but it takes time, and you want to have all your stuff together, have all your ribbon together, have your string, your wax string, your embellishments and things that you want to put on there, your jewelry findings and connectors and things that you know that you want to use, and it'll go pretty smoothly. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos, blog, and social media sites, and I'll link all this together with my bohemian style journal, and hopefully by next week the journal will be complete. So once again, thanks for watching, and happy crafting.